Speaking of terrorism, in Canada, Khalistanis are causing fresh trouble. Take a look at this.
Yeah, make it, take them. Yes, take them. उनको पहुंचते हुए दे लो, पहुंच गए सारे हुए. Yeah, good. उनका भी पहुंचे.
Reports say this happened in Brampton. There was a Diwali celebration. It was disrupted by Khalistanis. They showed up with their flags and hurled stones at the attendees. Clearly, this was a premeditated attack. And the Trudeau government must take blame for it. They've put Canada's Indian community in harm's way. Trudeau's tirade against India has emboldened Khalistanis. It has raised the risk of such attacks. And New Delhi saw it coming. Almost 2 months ago, India had issued a warning. It asked Indians in Canada to be cautious. But Ottawa seems to have ignored the threat. Now an investigation is underway into these Brampton clashes. But the local police is playing it down. They do not see this as an attack. They're calling it, and I'm quoting, an internal community fight. That's all. But India has taken note, and India has pulled up Canada, that too at the United Nations Human Rights Council. New Delhi chose the appropriate moment for this at the Universal Periodic Review. It's done by the UN. It's a peer review of sorts. They go through the human rights record of each country and members are allowed to speak. So when Canada was being reviewed, India spoke up. It said Canada should prevent misuse of freedom of expression. It should deny space to extremists and it should prevent attacks on places of worship. This is what India said to Canada. And there's plenty of evidence to back India's argument here. You just saw what happened during Diwali. In August, a Hindu temple was targeted in Canada. It was vandalized by Khalistanis. Indian diplomats in Canada have received death threats. In the month of June, there was a parade. It featured a float. It depicted the assassination of Indira Gandhi, the former Indian Prime Minister. All these incidents highlight Canada's deteriorating law and order situation, its disregard for India's concerns, its tolerance for extremists. Now, in an ideal situation, these would be compelling reasons for a leader to course correct, to take a firm stance against extremists. But not Justin Trudeau. A few days ago, he lectured India again.
We were so disappointed when India violated the Vienna Convention and arbitrarily revoked the diplomatic immunity of over 40 Canadian diplomats in India. But we will unequivocally always stand up for the rule of law, because that's who Canada is.
That's Justin Trudeau speaking about the rule of law while Khalistanis are attacking Indians in Canada with stones. He's talking about the Vienna Convention. He says India violated it. Now, the Vienna Convention is an international treaty designed to protect diplomats. A few weeks ago, India asked more than 40 Canadian diplomats to leave. India has around 20 diplomats in Canada. Canada had more than 60 in India. India wanted parity, so it asked 40 of them to leave. Is this a violation of the Vienna Convention? Let's look at what the treaty says. I'm quoting from Article 9 here. The receiving state may at any time and without having to explain its decision, notify that the head of the mission or any member of the diplomatic staff of the mission is persona non grata. So any diplomat can be asked to leave at any time. And that's not all. In its defense, India also quoted another part of this convention. This is Article 11. This is what it says. In the absence of specific agreement as to the size of the mission, the receiving state may require that the size of a mission be kept within limits considered by it to be reasonable and normal. So the treaty clearly spells out the rules. Justin Trudeau's allegations do not hold water. And no one is taking them seriously anyway. So instead of criticizing India, Trudeau should focus on this, a new security threat. A terrorist is threatening to blow up an Air India flight. His name is Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. He is a member of Sikhs for Justice. It's a sanctioned terrorist group in India. Pannu issued a statement a few days back. He told Sikhs to not fly Air India on the 19th of November. He said Their life will be in danger. Those were the exact words. Life will be in danger. Canada says it is investigating these threats. But given their record, this sounds like a hollow assurance. At this stage, nothing less than an arrest should suffice.